Hello, Coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We start with Joao Felix as the 50 million rated forward is reportedly getting closer and closer to Barcelona move as Deco is a great admirer. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, in this episode, we are going to be talking about Ivan Fresneda, as it has been recently reported that the Valladolid right back is getting tired of waiting for Barca and is already considering to move on. We are also going to move to be discussing about that. So as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are highly welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Joao Felix has been heavily linked with a move to FC Barcelona, with the player himself publicly declaring his desire to join the club. The 23-year-old forward, whose market value stands at 50 million euros, has fallen completely out of favor at Atletico Madrid and is not part of Diego Simeone's plans moving forward. Furthermore, Joao Felix was the subject of abusive chants from Los Rojiblancos fans this past weekend, following which it appears that there is no way back for him. There have been talks of Joao Felix wanting to terminate his contract as a result, with Barcelona very much interested. Now, Manu Signs of AS is reporting that Joao Felix is getting closer and closer to joining Barca, albeit on a potential loan deal with a purchase option. Atletico Madrid are understood to be demanding a loan fee of around 15 million euros for the 23-year-old, but the price will decrease the closer the deadline day inches. As such, Felix is prepared to wait for a week or two so that Barcelona can sign him for a lower fee. Furthermore, the report adds that Deco's appointment as sporting director yesterday works in favor of the move of the former midfielder is a huge admirer of his compatriot Joao Felix. It is said that Matteo Alemany was not in favor of signing Felix, but with Deco assuming power now, coupled with Joan Laporta's known admiration for the player, makes the transfer much more likely now. Manager Xavi Hernandez was also not always sold on that idea of bringing Felix in, but he is now open to welcoming Felix to the team as Ousmane Dembele has already left and there are question marks over Ansu Fati's future. As such, Joao Felix, who has rejected offers from Saudi Arabia, could be getting closer to his dream move to FC Barcelona. Of course, I think it should be good news as Barcelona keep showing interest in Joao Felix ever since they lost Neymar. And of course, Joao Felix is a player who really wants to join. And it's now all about just coming to an agreement with Atletico. And Barca's idea is to go for a loan. Because when we look at the financial capacity of Barca, they can't go for a permanent purchase for Joao Felix. Same as with Joao Cancelo, as because those players are now expensive, Barca cannot afford to pay. We all know what Barca are going through financially. Joao Cancelo is going through a very rough patch right now at Atletico. Diego Simeone is really disappointed after the player went publicly and, of course, admitted his admiration for Barca and talked about his dream of one day joining Barca. The Atletico fans did not take that lightly. They booed him so much on Monday when Atletico played their first La Liga game of the season. And of course, things are now getting worse according to recent reports, to the extent where Joao Felix is even considering terminating his own contract at Atletico and to better live as a free agent. I think that scenario will really benefit Barca because we know Barca have been so used to bringing free agents because of the lack of funds. But we know that terminating contract does not just come that easily. It must be a mutual agreement between both parties, that is between the club and the player himself. So as it stands right now, Joao Felix move to Barca looks really, really realistic, especially as Deco has now the full responsibility. He is now the man in charge, as Matteo Alemani is no more the official sporting director. But of course, Alemani will assume that role until the 2nd of September, when the summer window comes to a close in Spain. Then from then on, Alemani will leave his role as FC Barcelona sporting director, Deco assuming full responsibility. Of course, since Deco was officially announced yesterday, there have been a lot of reports talking about some decisions that will be going towards Deco's favor, because he has that power as sporting director to make some very huge and technical decisions for the team transfer policies. And Joao Felix has been a player that, according to what we have been getting, has been a player that Deco likes a lot. Of course, he's also from Portugal, like him. They are all compatriots. And of course, Deco really wants to push for the Joao Felix deal, according to new reports. And also coupled with the fact that President João Laporta is a huge admirer of Joao Felix ever since. I think the deal can still go through. And let's not forget, Xavi have been against that move for Neymar and also Joao Felix, but this recent report claims that now Xavi is open to the move. But for Xavi, the only thing that can make Barca should go for that move is only when they have signed a right back and an attacking midfielder. So let's see how possible with that. So guys, now moving on to the next story of discussion. Following the news that Deco has officially been appointed as Barca's new sporting director, transfer targets that the Portuguese icon places emphasis on have a greater chance of being recruited right now. One of Xavi and Barca's hierarchy major concerns continue to be strengthening that right back. The issues on the right flank were especially amplified in pre-season, especially the game against Getafe in our league opener. Even though Xavi and Alemany are seeking more experienced option with Cancelo, particularly the coach's preference, Deco continues to prioritize the arrival of Valladolid young sensation Ivan Fresneda. Deco was already involved in the club's transfer business behind closed doors, but with his status as sporting director now official, the man's Deco's decisions undeniably hold more weight. According to Moy Lawrence, Deco being in charge now means that Fresneda is closer to Barca. The Portuguese liking of the 18-year-old had already been made clear, as he remains his priority to the right-back spot. Fresneda's contract with Real Valladolid contains €20 million release clause, but Barca have no intention of matching that. Instead, reports suggest La Liga champions Barca could make an offer worth 9 plus 6 in add-ons to convince the player and Valladolid. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.